Okay, this is Dr. Cubbin, day 2, and please don't point out that I'm wearing the same clothes because it's not really day 2 for me. I'm just filming this a few minutes later. But it is day 2 for the lab, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually do the lab today, which means that you have your hypothesis, and it's based on your independent variable is based on the number of cells you're using. So you should have come up based on how we've been doing our hypotheses so far this year. You should have come up with your hypothesis, materials, and procedure, put them onto Jupyter already. Now today, when you finish, really what all you need to do is you need to come up with your data and a graph because we're going to do the experiment. So let's start out with it right now. Let's take our first piece of paper towel, put it right on our nickel. Bless you. And we're going to make our second one. Here's our second one. And this is going to be like this. Make those quite full of water. Does everybody know why we're using so much water on those? Anybody in the audience here?
Maximum voltage?
Well, maximum voltage, but how would you get maximum voltage? Because I'm using a lot of water in there.
Lots of
Lots
salt.
of salt.
It's more salt, but what difference would that make?
More water equals more salt.
I feel so stupid.
Okay. People at home, I want you to think about that too. Okay, so now we have our 3 cells. These are going to be our 3 levels of our independent variable, and now we're going to start gathering some data. Ready? So let's focus on that multimeter. We're going to be starting on the bottom and on the top. So we get about 0.5 for our first one. Write that down for 1 cell. This is our first trial. Still our first trial, 2 cells. I'll say 1.2. And 3 cells, 1.35. Now we're going to take those apart. That was trial 1. Now we're going to do them again. 5.5. Now you may not be agreeing with me on these averages then, but I'm just looking at this from the side, pulling out a number. We're not finding the vaccine for COVID-19. We're just doing a lab on coins.
Covir.
Okay.
It's COVID.
2 cells. It's going to be 1.15. 3 cells. It's going to be 1.33. Okay, we're going to take these apart and we're going to do our third and final trial. 0.56. 1.19 and 1.35. Now you have all your data. What you need to do is organize that in your notebook, and you have all your information from yesterday in your notebook. Organize your data in your notebook, and you're going to draw up your graph with your independent versus your dependent. What's our independent variable? Can anybody remember? Any of our students here?
The nickel. Penny?
The number?
Oh boy.
The salt water?
Oh boy.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been only a few minutes. It's the number of cells. That's the independent variable.
Yeah.
We're changing that. What's our dependent variable?
The number?
The number.
The number.
The voltage.
The voltage. Thank you, Nicole.
How many volts are in a light bulb?
Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be assembling your data table, and you're going to be putting together a graph. Tomorrow, your assignment is going to be to come up with your conclusion, okay? And your conclusion is going to go on to Jupyter. So what you'll be doing is you'll be putting this all together today in your notebook. You don't have to do anything except for what you've done already to check in. And tomorrow, you're going to be putting your conclusion on here. So I will see you probably next week, but tomorrow, remember, you're going to be going into Jupyter, following the directions on Google Classroom, but going on to Jupyter and completing your lab conclusion. And that will be the end of the work for this week. That is it, and have a great day.
Bye.